You boys know what's about to happen to you. You'd leave now.
Some consider these traits to be toxic, such as undesirable in the men of today. We consider these traits such as these not only to be desirable, but to be appreciated and celebrated. Welcome to the Toxic Male Appreciation Show, hosted by and Reina Creole. Welcome to the safe space for the toxic male.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lorena Creole, and with me is her of Positive Fandom and the Burn Network. And this, of course, is the Toxic Male Appreciation Podcast, where we appreciate you toxic males, or AKA traditional masculine values. And we kind of use that as we look through what's out there in the current world of entertainment and pop culture. So, how are you doing, my dear?
I am doing well. It's so good to be back talking about toxic male appreciation, Lorena. I have missed it so much.
I have to. And since we're such busy women, you are going to be seeing actual just videos dropping in podcast format with respect to toxic male appreciation. So we won't have a set live premiere day. The videos will just drop every couple of days on a schedule. So it'll be a little different. Instead of kind of waiting until the end, we're just going to give you all that goodness up front, you know? Oh, so for our topic for this video, there's usually always something that comes in at the last minute, you know, when you plan what you're going to have, you know, put on the show. But when I saw this, I was like, oh, yes, please. There is a Top Gun 3.
Yes, thank you, God.
In the works at Paramount. The news follows Tom Cruise inking a headline-grabbing, though non-exclusive, deal with Warner Brothers. How do you feel hearing about a Top Gun 3 is in the works?
Well, I'm not surprised because Top Gun Maverick performed so well in the box office. It performed so well in Rotten Tomatoes. It performed so well amongst people who just went in off the cuff to see it. And it felt like the perfect sequel to Top Gun, which came out over 30 something years ago. It couldn't have been more of a perfect film. And to be honest, I think if they can pull Top Gun 3 off, it'll be just maybe the trilogy of, I don't know, of Hollywood, because Tom Cruise is perhaps one of the biggest box office draws out there. He's still going strong with this Mission Impossible movies that he's making. And I wanted to see more of Top Gun Maverick. I think there's more of a story to tell. I don't think his story is over. I think maybe it's even just beginning, because there are going to be more challenges for many of those pilots in the military. And if anything, if they want to go ahead and push another story that's hypothetical, that has even an alternate reality, maybe we've accomplished different things in that new reality for the crew, for everyone there, all those fantastic new stars who went under all that training, all of that effort to make Top Gun Maverick look authentic, because it was authentic. Those guys are so talented. Maybe Tom Cruise is passing the torch from himself to these nice young bucks out there who are also toxic males, who really showed us how it's done. This lovely fabric of acting, of ability, just talent that we saw reminiscent of Top Gun just once again, reiterated in Top Gun Maverick. Lorena, I think Tom Cruise has hit on something that people want to see, these fun, charismatic, macho, badass films about, pilots or soldiers or whatever it is. And we can't get enough of this stuff. Certainly, so much effort was put into Top Gun Maverick. I have no doubt whatsoever that Tom Cruise will put in the same amount of effort to make Top Gun 3 an incredible success. And I'm delighted that he even wants to do this. Most people would say, I'm going to pack in the towel. I don't want to have anything to do with this. You know what? Tom Cruise is thinking, I can't stop here. The momentum is too strong. And we waited so long. I think this is maybe just a golden era for the Top Gun franchise, Lorena.
Wow. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better than that. Top Gun Maverick, the amount of money that movie made, the story, just seeing it, because I saw it in not IMAX, but it was more like a RPX, like an enhanced experience.
Yeah.
It was amazing. The theater was packed full of people, and I was one of those people where I'm like, I want to see it, but I don't have time to see it, but I need to see it because everybody tells me how good it is. And this film, just feel good, entertainment, romance, action, adventure, men being men, women being women, the stuff that we want to see, a movie that when you see it, you come out and you're like, that's what I wanted to do for 2 hours or whatever. I just wanted to get sucked into the world of Maverick, what he's up against, what he has to do, the ghosts, in his closet, skeletons in his closet, does he have a new love life? Yes or no? Just so many things, and we're sucked into that story, and so many people were. It just made an astronomical amount of money, and without a doubt showed Hollywood, you know what? It's not about the COVID. It's not about that. It's about giving us a film that people cannot wait to go see, that people can't wait to experience. And not only that, you had a guy who made this movie who basically tells you in the beginning of the movie, thank you for coming to see it. Thank you for coming to see, this this film. So a third one, I mean, it's just like bring it. Bring
Yeah.
it on.
Absolutely, Lorraine. At a time when we were just seeing reports, and I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with the reports we saw, but these reports that said, Hollywood is dying and movies are going nowhere. Tom Cruise, broke the mold, for all practical purposes last year in 2023. When he said, I'm going out to the movies, I'm excited about going to the movies. Here's my ticket. I'm going to see this movie or that movie. We don't necessarily see a lot of people promoting the movie business in general. And it was a difficult year, a very hard year. But I think by him showing his support that he believes in this industry, he doesn't believe it's going anywhere. And I think that he's a perfect example of somebody who has been so instrumental in not only writing, producing, directing in some cases, starring in his own films, but also creating excitement for this genre, creating excitement for people to want to go out to the theater, to go and buy tickets. He supports this notion of going to spend money and seeing movies in movie theaters. Lorena, I think certainly that's something that's been a huge debate and been a concern for a lot of people, what's going on with that. And I think that when you can create a film, and he isn't sort of like just looking to create simple films, these are complex, involved, expensive, and in some cases dangerous films that he's making. And I think the authenticity is what comes through. The word from 2023, that authenticity comes through with Tom Cruise. The desire to achieve something that's original, that isn't necessarily 100% CGI. He doesn't want any of that stuff. He wants the real deal. This guy does not want Photoshop shit. He doesn't want any of that. if you were with this man and you were alone with him, he'd be like, you keep those MF and lights on. I want to see it all. And he doesn't want you to hide. This man wants it the way it is. And I like that. I think that's very appealing to a lot of people. How satisfying was it to see all these actors, of course, do their volleyball scene? I think it was a volleyball scene or whatever
Yeah,
kind
it was a
of volleyball scene.
volleyball scene. Oh yeah.
He knows we want to see things like this. He knows that there's such a thing as sex appeal and that we're expecting that. He also knows that he has experience, and there's nothing sexier than a man who has sex appeal and has experience. He knows that he has all of these attributes. He's so talented. He brought in the most talented crew that I've ever seen in a movie. It's exciting to see people who are wonderful performers have so much potential in their careers. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them again in Top Gun 3. It just feels like the sky's the limit. I mean, a few years ago when we were talking about Tom Cruise and in anticipation of Mission Impossible coming out, there was a lot of kind of uncertainty, like what you said, Lorena, with the lockdown and everything. And now it just feels like the sky is the limit. Literally, he's gone past this Mach 10 that he does in Top Gun Maverick. He's going to conquer the galaxy, I think. And nothing's going to slow Tom Cruise down. He is very macho. He's very masculine. It's very, very appealing. This is what we want. We want to see, as you said, men being men and women being women. I love how sexy he keeps things. We need to continue to see that. It's just absolutely infectious, Lorena. I can't get enough of it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's dig into this article courtesy of the Hollywood Reporter, the Heat Vision blog that they have here by Boris Kitt and Aaron Crouch, dated January 11th. Paramount is hoping to refuel the Top Gun franchise liftoff once more for a third film in the storied franchise. Top Gun Maverick co-writer Aaron Kruger is penning a script for what would be a new installment. And sources say Maverick director Joe Kosinski would also return to direct. Hell yes. Joe Kosinski knocked that sucker out of the park with the directing. I can't emphasize just how much he did a kick-ass job with directing this film. It's absolutely amazing. Let's see. Puck first reported the news of Kruger's involvement. Puck is a Hollywood blog, that you can get. The intent is to reunite Tom Cruise with his next-gen co-stars, Miles Teller and Glenn Powell. So that would be, what was it? Hangman and, oh man, I'm forgetting Goose's son's call sign.
Me too. And this is Goose's son, and then the other gentleman. They're both wonderful actors. They look so good on the screen, and they had so much chemistry. Oh my goodness!
Oh, it was great. It was great. They were absolutely perfect. So I am very excited to hear about this, this reuniting that's going on, because the three of them had absolutely perfect chemistry. I agree with you. The development comes days after Warner Brothers Discovery announced that Cruise had signed a deal to star in and produce movies for Warner's, though that pact is not exclusive. That's freaking smart. I really do not see Tom Cruise saying, yeah, I'm going to lock myself into an exclusivity contract. No. He's too big of a star. Literally, Tom Cruise is the kind of guy that can pick up a phone, call a studio head, and next thing you know, they got a film running. He's just, he's Tom freaking Cruise. So the actor's recent films have largely been at Paramount, which is true, though he did not have a deal there. Again, that's what I told you. He would just basically call the studio head at Paramount, say, I want to do a movie. That's how that would work. Let's see. While some could view Top Gun as tit for tat in the war for Cruise headlines, in reality, this sequel has quietly been in development since late fall. Now that makes complete, total, and perfect sense. How the heck? I mean, it's set up perfectly with Maverick and the new guard, so to speak. that's coming out. And it's not that they threw these people, in there just to do it. There was a storyline, there was a relationship that developed. So these are characters where you're kind of like, I wonder what they're going to do next,
Yeah, we certainly did see the relationship grow on screen, and it can't be ignored, Lorena. We want to know more about these new characters and their careers and where they're going. And certainly there's a lot of there's a lot of barriers as to where they will end up because they're supposedly or pretty much the cream of the crop when it comes to this job and the future of this job. I don't think pilots are going anywhere. I think even with whatever obstacles are in their way, these are the type of pilots and let's say enlisted individuals who can do anything. And I'm just curious as to what's going to happen. Will Maverick take the position that I can't remember the guy's name, Val Kilmer had? Who's going to take over that position? 'Cause I don't know whether John Hamm's going to keep it. He doesn't seem happy in the story. I think it was John Hamm.
Yeah.
He's not happy in that position, so maybe he'll move on. I think, honestly, could I see him running Top Gun? These are all sorts of things to think about where he could end up, and certainly the roles of the other characters as well, because they're so early in their career, and the experience they had in Top Gun Maverick is going to have a huge impact on their lives as well.
Absolutely. Oh, and guys, Goose's son, his call sign is Rooster.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I had to look that up. Funny how I remembered Hangman,
Mhm.
but not Rooster. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So Paramount could not be reached for comment. Why are you even gonna bother commenting about that anyway? Makes no darn sense, but I guess they got to put that in there anyway or anywhere. So they say here Maverick was a massive overperformer at the box office in 2022. That's an understatement, earning 1.5 billion. That's with a B, billion globally, and sparking Steven Spielberg to credit Cruise with saving the theatrical business, which had been belabored by the coronavirus pandemic. The feature followed decades after Tony Scott's 1986 Top Gun, which helped cement Cruise as a rising star. Now, for folks who do not know who Tony Scott is, Tony Scott directed the original Top Gun. Don't expect to see the new Top Gun movie in the near term. Cruise is currently working on an 8th Mission Impossible movie, which will keep him occupied until its release, currently set for May 2025. And I think that's Dead Reckoning Part 2, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And I could see them releasing, this is just my speculation, but I could see them releasing a third Top Gun film maybe in 2030.
I agree. I would rather let them sit on it, have the perfect script, come out, have them sit, stew on it, and then, and then do it. It took what, like 20, 30 years or so to see Top Gun. Over 30 years, actually, to see close to 30 years to see Top Gun. So we can wait. We can wait. We waited that long for Maverick. We can wait for that long for the sequel. Well, the three-peats, put that way. And it took a few years of development before Maverick became airborne. That is true. Still, this development further cements one thing that became apparent after this week. Cruise is still an in-demand star, and studios will be battling for his time and attention for years to come.
Yes, and this is something that has been a topic for many entertainment analysts about what is the longevity, what is the lifespan of an actor, especially somebody like Tom Cruise. And I think that he has no limit. He's just going to keep going until he can't go anymore. I think that's what we're going to see. And even when he can't go anymore, he'll probably still be in films, kicking ass or doing something. But I think that he is just someone who can keep doing these films, and also likes to do what I really say. It's kind of like the heavy lifting in a sense. It's a lot of work to get these movies in production. It's not a simple feat, and it's really 24/7 in his case, especially since he tends to star in a lot of these films. It's so much work. God bless him for keeping that toxic male thing going. Thank you, Tom Cruise. We love it, and we will continue to watch you. As long as you make those films, we will continue to watch them.
Absolutely, abso-freaking-lutely. Tom Cruise knows his audience. He knows what we want to see, and that we will basically say, "Shut up and take my money," so we can go and go and see it. So, folks, that concludes this podcast episode of Toxic Male Appreciation. Please do go and subscribe to my wing woman of Positive Fandom. Please do make sure you're subscribed to me. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and we will see you next time. You men stay toxic.
Bye.
Bye.